Hello, and welcome back to the Quadruple Villa podcast. I'm Scott Cooper, and we are all back for our double review of Aston Villa versus Burnley and Aston Villa versus Liverpool. 2 games, 1 review, all coming up. We've got Buendia against Burnley. We've got the trip Villa to Australia, and we've got John Moss as well, all coming up after this. All right, so we were back we were at Turf Moor for the first game. Two reviews, 2 games. This is the review. We got the first game was Saturday night, our time here in Australia. We were at Turf Moor, Aston Villa versus Burnley. Going there, didn't feel too confident. Not a ground that we have many good results over the years, and Burnley still had plenty to play for, but no, it was an interesting lineup that we saw. It came out from the BBC as 5 at the back, but then as we saw, it was Callum Chambers playing as a defensive midfielder. That was quite interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, the whole lineup really took us by surprise. Obviously, Chambers playing in the midfield. I think Stevie G said that originally, like he could kind of play like the DM role and play centre back, play right back, play all across like the back line, which is what we needed. And I thought he actually did a really, really good job in the game from what I saw of it. Unfortunately, I was working got home at 12:30, so missed the first half an hour of the game. All the exciting parts of the game I missed, I should say. But interesting, but it actually played quite well. And, to get 3 points at Burnley is never an easy task, especially when they're on the form they were on. So yeah, I'm happy with the result. Three goals, 3 points. Just the clean sheet, unlucky right at the end there.
Yeah, that was a little bit disappointing. You could tell that Emmy was absolutely fuming at letting that goal in. But Troy, it's good to have you back, buddy. After the laptop issues and COVID and everything else, how you been?
It's been a bad month.
Yeah,
smash the laptop, smash my health. Yeah, COVID took me out for 2 weeks, and it's still I'm still struggling a bit, but look, with the game against Burnley, I don't care who you come across when they're fighting for their premiership lives. It's going to be a very, very tough game. But we didn't look like we really got out of second gear, and it was so professional. We just absolutely destroyed them. It was interesting to see Chambers. The only thing that really disappointed me that kind of got turned around in the Liverpool game was it allowed Dougie Luiz to push forward into a more forward role. And against Burnley, I didn't think he did particularly well. He didn't have to. He just sort of cruised. I expected him to light the place up. And I just thought, well, you know what, maybe he's not all that. What did Brazil see in this guy? And then the Liverpool game came along, and for the first 60 minutes, for me, he was the man of the match. He was absolutely superb. But going back to Burnley, we did it easy. You could see their fans were utterly dismayed. They were expecting us to make. They were expecting their team to make a bit of a go at it. They probably would have thought, if we can get a point out of this, happy days. And they just got absolutely destroyed. And it's been a long time since I've seen a Villa side do it so professionally and so easily. As you said, the only disappointing thing at the end was gifting him a bit of an easy goal. But there you go.
Well, that's it, Tommy. I think most people's man of the match was Emi Buendia in that game. I thought he was amazing. Scored a goal, set up a goal for Ings, and to see our 2 huge signings in the summer link up like that with the through ball from Buendia to Ings and the tidy finish. That's what we've been wanting all season. Watkins on the score sheet again as well. So this theory that Ings and Watkins can't play together seems to be all coming into place now.
Yeah, I think confidence does that as well, Scott. Actually, just before I go on to Villa, I don't know if anyone heard about Cornet. He's gone back to the manager. And he said, I want to go back to my parent club, because he thought he's on loan. And they go, you're here. You were signed permanently.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if he wanted to terminate his loan, or he said, I'm planning to leave early, or end of the season. He's obviously got no intentions to come back to Burnley, but they go, you're here permanently. So that's a funny conversation. If they go down, sounds like there's an opportunity, and he's a left back at trade. So I think he could walk into a lot of Prem sides, to be honest. But no, I think we're all over him. I think pretty sad that Buendia didn't start against Liverpool. I have no idea after a man of the match performance. On the score sheet, thought, that first goal, or his only goal, took it with a lot of composure to bring it back on his left, which is really all he could have done, but to do it in such a tight space and then just calmly slot home, that's things we know, playing the offside trap well. Ollie, just a bullet of a header. I think it had too much pace for Pope to even stop. And, see Buendia on the score sheet again, fortuitous deflection, but yeah, like teams just gelling all round. Obviously they dissected us with a great pass for the goal that we conceded, and pretty sad for Emi Martinez to not get his clean sheet bonus that I'm sure is somewhere in his contract.
Yeah, that's great performance. I think Steven Gerrard, it's probably the best performance, I would say. Maybe under him, maybe Southampton, Leeds were both good, but it was a dominant performance. The game was done early, and we've got Burnley again coming up, in a week or so. So hopefully we can do the double over them and send them down. That'd be great. Moving on to the Liverpool game, Noah. Going into that game, as we spoke about before, Buendia got dropped, which was a huge shock. Coutinho came back in.
What the hell?
That was amazing.
I can't see anything. I can't see. Oh, penalty. Sorry. Oh, it's in Villa's box. My fault.
Oh, that's great. So Noah, we had Coutinho back in. It was Cons and Minga. It was Cons and Mings.
Minga.
He was a bit of a Minga, to be honest. Yeah. And we had a great start, but obviously they came straight back into the game. And it was good performance, but again, not quite enough against the big sides.
Yeah, the thing we've really been lacking is just a big scalp this season. We've normally had, especially last season, we had a couple of big scalps like Liverpool 7-2, beat Arsenal, did the double over Arsenal last season, but we really are lacking that one big scalp this season. Unfortunately, Villa Park was absolutely rocking. The crowd was up for it. When that first goal went in, the atmosphere was electric at Villa Park. And to concede a minute and a half later, just deflating. Honestly, just deflating. But, I say unlucky. Ming should have cleared it, kind of got the ball stuck under his foot. And I also think there was a foul on Konsa as well. I think from Jota, came in and tackled Konsa, took him out of the play. But look, one of those days, Moss is clearly a Liverpool fan, and the rest is history. I can't get over that foul on Luiz. I think the one that he gave away after getting his foot stomped on. But look, the second goal from Mane was a clinical header. No one was going to save that. And look, Liverpool showed their class, and that's what they got to do. They've got to win games like that, and hopefully they win the league.
Class, though? Was it class? Because for 60 minutes, I don't know who's the team at the top of the table, and I'm not saying that being biased to Villa, but seeing a lot of neutral fans on a lot of the scores review, a lot of score updates saying, Villa all over him for about 50, 60 minutes.
100%.
Like he played everyone off the park at one point, and then don't understand why it kind of changed again. Good to see Marvelous Nakamba back as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought he was good. I thought he was actually really, really important in that first half. The press that we put on them, he was a big part of that. Luiz was a big part of that. And we put them under pressure. I haven't seen Van Dijk sort of, be like that, where, he was making a few mistakes.
And also,
Alisson did too. Alisson made some mistakes.
Yeah.
But then Watkins, that chance where Alisson's kicked it into him, and I mean, Ollie's renowned for that, his offensive pressure. So to see it coming to fruition again, it's just good to see that, just a bit of good fortune, couple, good results going our way. And then, all of a sudden now we look like a team challenging. I mean, Wolves were all over us, and that kind of started the demise for us. And you see them get pumped by Man City, on the weekend. So, it's an up and down season for a lot of teams.
Yeah, I think a lot of those sides that are in the mid-table, like Leicester, like us, like Crystal Palace, they go through the similar things that we've gone through this season. A couple of wins, some good performances, and then some terrible performances. It's just, that it's about being a mid-table team. it's what it's like. But yeah, unfortunately, the goal came straight away, and that's the kind of thing that we just can't legislate for. And I think I feel like Tyrone Mings and Ezri Konsa have maybe 6 months left in their Villa careers to really prove that they can be full-time players.
Said that.
Yeah.
Said that. They helped us come up, but it comes to a point where it's like, hey, this is the direction we're heading in. It's like, you look at the Traore race, you look at the Algazis, you go back last season, they had some influence. Now probably not even mentioned at all. And there's probably a couple on the way out. We're breeding youth, and I think there's just a direction Gerrard wants to send his team in. Seems like when he gets a consistent form going again, the board backs him. Sounds like he's probably got a chest at his disposal end of the season and finish strong. But yeah, I completely agree. Konsa and Mings, it's always one or the other. I'm like, why can't it be both? Not saying we're going to get a Van Dijk kind of player, but we're linked with a guy from Mainz, Jonathan Saint something. He's I think one of the most underrated defenders in the Bundesliga.
St. Just.
Or just whatever. I think 9 million. So a lot of good centre backs do come out of the Bundesliga. I've noticed on FIFA anyway.
Yeah, well, I think it's definitely one area that we've got to look at, because Mings on that goal, it's dropped to him on his left foot. He's a left footer, and it's like he'd forgotten how to play football. Those mistakes keep coming.
What are Mings and Konsa's market values realistically, you think? Mings has a couple caps for England, and Konsa we thought he'd be in the mix. And I have seen the general consensus that I think that's got to his head. So he's trying to do flashier things now instead of keeping it basic, which is what he was really good at. Right.
Yeah, well, it's a difficult one because, you can't really get rid of all these guys. And, you got to keep some, so I'm not saying we should get rid of Mings or Konsa, but they definitely should be shown that, their place is up for grabs. And I think Chambers deserves a bit of a run in the team. It's odd that they keep making mistakes and they keep getting played.
It's almost like the Coutinho thing. I understand Coutinho's going to be Gerrard's, his Grealish 2.0 will be Gerrard's little love child, but I feel like it's either him or Coutinho, and Gerrard's come out and said that. And speaking of Gerrard coming out and talking, I think it takes balls to criticise Moss, say what he said. There'll probably be some sanctions imposed. Does he give a shit? Probably not.
Oh, what did he say?
They go, he's retiring, and Gerrard was like, good, as in John
and
Moss
smiled,
retired. This game should be looked at after that performance. Like, he goes, the game should be looked at or investigated.
It should be, because when you get incompetent referees, that's fine, because incompetence tends to go both ways and it evens out. But if you have a look, I think I counted something like 15, 16 decisions against the Villa just in the first half that were highly questionable. That's not incompetence.
I think Liverpool fans would suggest that our first goal should have been offside as well.
But the play stopped. It's the rule changed. Like, the play had restarted. The ball went in, and then Watkins. It didn't affect the play. Like I think that's the rule.
The ball stayed in play though.
But that doesn't the play, like Liverpool's line had a chance to reset. That's when the play resets.
It's a different passage of play, isn't it?
So that's why the goal could stand. There's nothing against that. And I think when we played Burnley 2 seasons ago, Grealish scored a great goal. Wesley was offside or some bullshit like that because the Burnley's back four hadn't reset yet.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
No, I think it was fair enough, and I think probably the Jota foul was fair enough to give the goal. I think if that was a Villa goal disallowed, we would have been probably a bit annoyed. They come together.
The foul's there, but it's one of those ones. It's like you see him given, you see him not. But I think if Konsa was not tackled, would he have affected the play? Like, he might have. Like, he might have got his body back on the line. But it's one of those things. If we got a goal, they got a goal, sort of stuff. Just take it.
I think the whole referee situation was summed up when Dougie Luiz had the back of his leg stamped on. He went down, grabbed the ball.
Yeah.
Referee's gone handball. What? Yeah. And how many times was the fat fuck? Yeah. Pot kettle black. In the way of the football, because he couldn't move out of the way quick enough. He's just a dickhead referee.
I think
That's the
I think he was on the beach. You know, like we say that teams are on the beach this time of season. If he's
Yeah.
retiring at the end of the year, he's probably thinking, well, let's just get this over and done with. I can, go on my holidays. So
Yeah, look, it was a game of two halves, and I think Klopp kind of played himself into the first one. After the Spurs game, he came out in public and he said, "Look, I don't like the way Spurs played. I can't coach that way." And a lot of people saw that as a criticism of Spurs, which maybe it was. But my first thought was, this is mind games with Gerrard. He knows Gerrard's ultimate goal is to play for Liverpool, is to coach Liverpool. And I think that was a message to Gerrard. Don't be like that. If you want my job one day,
come at us. Yeah.
Come at me. And that's exactly what Liverpool wanted. They wanted us to come at, and then they were going to slice us to pieces. And you have a look on Klopp's face when we scored that goal. He's thinking, what have I said? But I think in the second half, I think that got the better of Gerrard, and the substitution, bringing Chocolate Maker on is just, to me, it was wrong on a number of levels. The first one was it pushed Dougie Luiz back, and who was the player of the game at that stage, and that pushed him back into the role that everybody says he's not very good at.
And his performance dropped after that.
His performance dropped dramatically.
Yeah.
For me, he was easily the man of the match, and after that, he was.
He gave away the ball. He gave away the ball for the second goal.
Why change it then? If it was working, why would you change it?
Because Marvelous, that was his first game back.
He was knackered.
Yeah.
Rogan bum, play him then.
Well,
I think it's because Gerard's basically sending a message to Chocklemaker and his agent. Look, you're in my plans. I want you to stay. But to me, it's poor management, because if the kid was going to stay, now he may, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. He may be a wonderful kid who said to Gerard, look, I will give you my all. And there's absolutely no signs at all that he's not giving his all on the pitch. The kid looks superb. I will give you my all while I'm here. I will train my ass off. I will give everything to the club. I'm happy to be here. But as far as my career goes and contract goes, I'm leaving that completely in the hands of my agent. I do the football stuff. He does the contract stuff, sorted out with him. Who knows? But Gerard playing him instead of, he had three options on the bench, and what's going to happen now is Chocklemaker's agent. If I was his agent, I'd be touting it. I'd be going to other clubs and saying, look, Gerard's one of the greatest midfielders of his generation. He knows midfielders. He had a choice against the Liverpool game of playing a French guy who's played Champions League, an experienced Arsenal player, or one of the most promising youth players in the club. Instead, he chose my client. What does that tell you? So I think Gerard's played himself there. I don't think he's going to sign a new contract. There doesn't seem to be any signs that he's going to sign a new contract. So I wouldn't have played him. I would have put Eric Boonham in.
I don't have a problem playing Chocklemaker, because I think that we should be playing the kids in these games that mean nothing, essentially.
But it wasn't the problem, Scott. It was the Rogan Balm who should have came on. Now, again, just do that to tease Chocklemaker to sign. If he doesn't want to sign, like I said, Gerard, you can't keep everyone happy. You can only play 11 players at the end of the day.
Yeah, bring him on for McGinn or something like that. That would be okay.
Yes.
But yeah, don't disrupt the team just to bring him on. And I think Douglas Luiz was playing really great as a number 8, gets put back as a number 6, and gives the ball away for the second goal, and
it was all over.
Yeah. But Gerard was happy with the performance, and as was I. I think Ollie Watkins and Danny Ings were both good without, scoring. Danny Ings unfortunately missed those couple of chances, but the pressure, the press, and all that sort of work rate, Nakamba, Louise was all good. It's just, just both ends of the field we make mistakes. Danny Ings couldn't put that one away when he was 1-on-1 after a great ball from Ollie. And yeah, the Mings mistake for the first goal and everything else. It's just, we've just got to cut those errors out.
100%. And it takes, I know it takes time. We all say that, but I think Gerard's had enough time to look at the team, and he's definitely going to be swinging the axe in the off season, and be quite interesting. Last season we said Conser for England, all this kind of stuff, but he's not even half the player he was last season. He was a Rolls Royce last year, and this season, I don't know what's really happened. He's just gone back into his shell, and he really could be on the way out.
got to his head. So I'm saying, so Conser or Mings, who stays and why?
If I had to choose,
I don't know.
I'd probably choose Konza just because he has been good. He has been really good. I mean, I know that Mings gives you that leadership. He gives you sort of presence, but it's the errors. I mean, if we're going to progress into a top consistent side, I think Tyrone Mings is second and third in the league in terms of mistakes that have led to goals. I think only Harry Maguire and someone and like maybe one or two other players are above him. So yeah, I mean, I think it's an area we got to look at for sure. But Konza is doing the same as well.
I think Konsa's ceiling is higher as well. Plus, I think he's got a couple years on Mings, so that's probably why I'd go for Konsa. But
same with me.
Arguments there for Mings as well because leadership. He's probably got more England caps. But for me, I find it funny that Mings doesn't jump. I've seen goals where he's been out jumped by guys that are like this compared to him, and yeah, it just makes no sense. As the captain, especially as a centre back, you think you'd be some tough, hard nut. Now, I don't know if or someone needs to get in his ear and say, you need to toughen up as a centre back. Don't care if he plays Route 1, State 5 football, clear it if you're in doubt. Better than taking this risky shit. Plus, he's just naturally lanky and he's a bit dopey. It's just the way a lot of centre backs are, especially because he's quite tall.
If Burnley go down, I'd take Tarkowski, eh?
I think a lot of teams will go for him, though.
Yeah.
A lot of teams.
Yeah.
I think we're the one that can offer starting football. Who else can?
Newcastle.
Yeah.
You choose Newcastle over us based on the growth
West
trajectory?
Ham. I reckon he'll start at West Ham. I think he's a great centre back. I really rate him.
Pick up Craig Dawson, ex-West Brom guy. He's actually been killing it at West Ham. But I think that's a confidence thing. That old team, they're linked with Ollie all of a sudden for 50 million.
Not happening. Stay away.
Yeah, hopefully
I think
that's not happening.
Did you take Antonio for Ollie?
Take
I think. Who?
Antonio for Ollie, swap.
Antonio.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Ollie Watkins, very, very simple fix. Those machines that they feed the footballs in to fire at the goalkeepers.
Right.
You need 3 of those, one in front of Ollie, one behind Ollie, and one to the side, and just fire them randomly and say, right, you control the ball that comes to you. And we're going to do this for 20 minutes at the beginning of each training session. Right. And if you miscontrol it, well, it's going to hit you fucking hard. The guy cannot. He's got the first touch. I won't say that again. He's got a terrible first touch, right? Honestly, it's
not the greatest.
He can't control a football. He cannot control a football. That thing where the ball bounced off Allison, Buendia's in front of it. That's a goal. Coutinho's in front of it. That's a goal.
I think that's such a hard one to control, though, Troy.
It is. It is.
I didn't go keep Coutinho for 20 minutes before training. Like Coutinho can teach him a thing or 10 about good control. That guy's got it on the street.
Like Ollie's running a full pelt at a ball that's deflected back at him.
Yeah,
I think he did, like, I know it didn't score a goal from it, but to even get something on it was pretty good.
But how many times in a game do we see Ollie in a good position, but he fails to control the ball? I will say now, if he had a really good first touch and he could bring that first touch on, I'm going to say he's a 20, 25 goal a season striker. It's that first touch that absolutely wrecks him.
Ollie had Ings' touch and kind of finesse. Be a huge asset. Why aren't they learning off each other? I mean, Ings does the pressure. Ings has the touch. He hasn't got the size and probably youth of Ollie. But, I think he can certainly learn things from the players around him. Like Coutinho's got the touch of a god and Ings is just clinical. Go ask your teammates. Like, hey, no shame in saying, hey, can you teach me that? Well, how do you do it so well? You saw Ings that his goal.
You can't teach, though.
You can't teach that.
Like that goal he scored when he was offside, I was like, where's that been all season?
Such a good finish, wasn't it?
I know. Yeah. Like, even just a shot that he fired because he knew he was offside, he played that as if he thought he was on.
Yeah.
You got to play the whistle anyway.
That's it, especially in the VAR days. You got to just have a shot.
Probably. We're lacking, all right, we're doing well for 60 minutes instead of a half now. So we're just lacking that little bit to get across the line, and I think that's where some other teams probably breaking into the top 8 or just sitting outside of it are doing. Either a bit of luck on their side, they're just it out. And I think that's our problem. Like to concede as fast as we scored, it was just so sad.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
if you look at our season, we've lost to Watford twice, right? The rest of the teams around the bottom, we've done quite well against. We've only got one positive result from the top 7.
The draw against United.
The draw against United. Oh, we beat United. No, we beat United.
We beat United.
We beat United and drew against United. That's the only team that we've had positive results against.
Top now, like they're a bit of a laughing stock. Yeah, every team's putting goals past them.
Yeah, exactly. But
and they don't even score.
But yeah, we've sort of beat most of the teams we should beat. It's
the next step.
It's the next step. It's those teams like West Ham, like like Arsenal, Tottenham. They just, we play good against them in periods, and then, we just make mistakes and lose points because of it. We've lost, I think, something like 10 games, 11 games by a goal this season. So yeah, it just shows that the consistency is not there, and that's a huge leap to go from where we are to where a West Ham is. That's going to take a while.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah,
I think a defensive midfielder fixes, like a good defensive midfielder fixes an awful lot of that, because that takes a lot of the pressure off the centre backs. I don't know what's going on in the Euros. People used to say to me, "Oh, Tyrone Mings is good," and I'll be like, "Yeah, he's not even the best centre back at the club." Konsa was head and shoulders above him for me, and now I don't know. You see, if anything goes wrong, Konsa straight away is looking at barking at other people, even if it's his fault. There's something not right in his head. But I think a defensive midfielder fixes, I reckon, 70% of our problems.
And we're linked with a lot of them as well. Like I think Kamara from Lyon, we're linked with Basuma and Marseille, and Calvin Phillips apparently as well. So
yeah,
one of them three, and then there's Glenn Kamara from Rangers as well. He scored on the weekend. Great cracker as well.
Well, I think Konsa's struggles were summed up in the moment against Burnley. I don't know if you remember when Dwight McNeil went down the left and Konsa went out to the touchline, and he just sort of walked past him, and then all of a sudden he was in one-on-one with Emmy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It was just like he switched off for a moment, and like you said, he wasn't doing that last season. He seemed so calm. It didn't matter how much pressure we were under. He was like the calm figure, but I don't know. This season he's screaming at everyone after we concede. It's never his fault.
No,
there was a stat last season. Noah probably might be able to tell me what it was. The number of times that Konsa had actually been beaten.
He hadn't been for ages.
No, I think by the end of the season it was maybe twice.
I think I'm going to say it was twice. Yeah, he only got drilled past twice the entire season. It was ridiculous. But it'd be many more this season.
Yeah,
many more.
Yep. Well, there's certainly a lot of hard work for Gerrard to do in the off season in terms of who we're going to keep, who we're going to sell, who we're going to build the team around. And he's making a lot of sort of positive moves in terms of like what we're hearing, and he's going after the likes of Kamara, like we said. We saw him in France a few weeks ago, watching him, and I think he's got some big plans coming up this summer. And one of the plans is, of course, that he will be bringing Aston Villa to Australia, and haven't had Noah and Troy on since that was announced. So, Troy, I'll go to you first. What were your thoughts when it was announced, and how excited are you to see them in Brisbane?
Well, I was semi-excited at first because they were supposed to be going down to Melbourne. I thought, okay, we've got to get flights down there, and that's a bit of a pain. But then that got cancelled, and there were all kinds of rumours. They're not coming, they are coming. And then we saw a lot of Leeds fans saying we're playing Villa in Brisbane and very specific dates. And I had a look at Suncorp Stadium, and the 17th of July was mentioned. And sure enough, there's an empty slot on the 17th of July. So I'm starting to get a little bit excited. Yeah, absolutely wrapped. I can't wait. We've got some big plans. We've put in an application to light up City Hall in claret and blue. So it's exciting stuff. It's going to be it's going to be a good night. It'll be cold. By Brisbane standards, you Melbourne boys will probably just we'll
love it
in your speedos, yeah. But for us, it'll probably about I can't see it being much above sort of 12 degrees, which is That's considered anything 20 degrees and below is considered freezing for us. So if it's 12 degrees, we consider that -8. We'll be rugged up.
Well, in the middle, it gets that cold in the middle of the day.
No. Middle of the day would be fine. Middle of the day it'll be in the 20s. There's no problems. Middle of the day is t-shirt and shorts. But yeah, once it comes nighttime, yeah, pop the jeans on, pop the hoodie on.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold in here in Perth.
Yeah,
we'll get 6 and 5 degree nights in Melbourne recently.
Oh, we've been getting some very, very cold nights in Melbourne. It's been ridiculous. So
wow.
I think we'll be right. You know, we're tough. We're tougher than you guys, definitely. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've got the pubs all booked out and ready to go for Brisbane.
Yeah. We've been speaking to the Pig and Whistle up here in Brisbane. Have got a few locations, and they specialise in dealing with football fans. So we're dealing with them. They're going to put on a bit of a show for us. It's going to be good. Some of the other lads have organised a pub called the Paddington. I don't know, but it's close to the ground. Apparently it's quite classy. It's good, and the owner's on board, and he's going to look after us as well. So the fans traveling before the game and after the game, they'll be well looked after as well. So it's exciting stuff. I think we've a lot of people. Ticketek made an absolute dog's breakfast of everything. I had 4 tabs open. I managed to get 6 tickets pretty quickly. And then people were whinging that they had to sit elsewhere. And then Ticketek opened up more seats behind us. I don't know whether they didn't know how many numbers to expect or what the story was, but they made a mess of it.
I think we overloaded the site pretty quick. I don't think it could handle all the Villa traffic.
No, I couldn't.
No.
The section was just half an hour.
I think it also had to do with like West Ham
Palace. Yeah. They had a game at Suncorp last season, and the fans got to keep their tickets.
Mm.
So,
I also found this funny. A Leeds fan bought in the wrong section, and he posted in one of the Villa groups. Someone let him in. He goes, "Hey guys, I've bought 2 tickets in the Villa section. Who's up for a swap or something?" So I thought it was pretty funny. Someone I think ended up buying 2 tickets in the Leeds section, and they just swapped him in the end.
Oh,
it
good.
was just a bit
good.
game banter. It was good. It was nothing sinister in the end.
Yeah,
Not that I could.
The whole situation with the Perth tickets was a debacle too, because there was this pre-sale you had to sign up for, and people weren't sure, which because there was one through the club, there was one through Ticketek, and people weren't sure which one you had to sign up to for the Tuesday tickets and which one for the Wednesday tickets, and people were getting emails saying, "Oh, it's Wednesday for you," but then Tuesday comes along and they can buy tickets. It's like, it was a bit of a crazy moment, because I was at work and I was trying to, get hold of my wife to say, buy the tickets. And she was out because she thought we had to get them on the Wednesday. And it was like,
Aman was sending messages saying, if you go on this site and book some flights in a hotel, what? So hang on, I've got to book a flight to Fiji.
And then he goes to, have you bought your tickets? And I go, I'm not paying for the additional package and the hotel and the flights. Like, oh no, you just go buy them normally. I've gone, oh shit, all right, straight on and picked them up. And I'm so excited. Unlike for Troy, for Tommy and I, but we've actually got to travel to. Well, I'm traveling to both Brisbane and Perth, so I got a bit of traveling I got to do. So.
I'm not doing Perth.
Because you're a loser. You're a loser. That's why.
In terms of, I'm taking an extra 5 days to travel because I can know it. So suck it. And leave. I got to be a bit more strategic with how I take my leave. I can't take the full.
No. And of course, there's the game in Townsville as well.
More like if I'm not at work, my entire function doesn't run. So that we need a strategic. But I'm spewing. I would love to go to Perth as well. It's funny. I buy tickets and I'm like, Loz didn't want to come. Did you book an extra ticket? I'm like,
stitch me up.
He didn't want to come. I bought a ticket, just a peasant ticket with Noah. And then I said, no, you can just take that one. And actually, I did say to Cos, I said, you can sell it or give it to this guy as a goodwill gesture, because I saw a post about, some Villa guys, they're not as fortunate, So I thought I just gave it away. I was like $60. I don't need it. I went and bought 2 gold class tickets because, that's what she likes.
Nice. Well, I mean, we're all going to be in Brisbane, so that's going to be great.
Sounds like a live one could be happening here.
It could be, potentially. It's going to be exciting.
Definitely got some plans for some really interesting stuff coming up with the Villa on tour being down here. So, hey?
Alicia Lehman coming to watch Dougie?
I mean, if he's still a Villa player, who knows? A lot can happen.
That's it. Well, I know that in Perth we've got a Villa Legends night, the day before the game. So, that's going to be awesome.
I'll be there.
Peter With is going to be there. He lives in Perth. I think Ian Taylor, there's been rumours that he'll be there, and
fantastic!
Quite a few others that are making the trip out.
I heard Dwight York too, potentially. That's what I heard.
He's a dick.
Mark Bosnich as well. So, that'd be kind of cool, and maybe even some of the players too in a training session or something like that. So, really looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing you guys, of course, and doing something up in Brisbane. And I'm actually spending 5 days in Brisbane, so it's going to be cool.
Yeah, we're not all that lucky. I'm literally going to come up for the game, fly back, then fly to Perth, and then fly back. So I'm in for a good week. My work are very happy with me. Let's just put it that way.
You going like from the game straight to the airport? You're staying a night though, aren't you?
No, yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'm going to come up on the Friday after the game, and then go home the morning after, and then go to Perth on the Friday and come home on the Sunday. Same sort of thing. So
I get there on Thursday or Friday morning and leaving on the Wednesday. So
what do you expect from this Optus? What's it called? Optus Stadium.
The stadium.
Optus Stadium.
It looks absolutely massive like this. But
it's huge.
The pitch. Are you going to be a long way from the pitch though?
Yeah, probably.
It's 60,000. It's
like the G.
It is quite a long way from the pitch, but I think it's going to be better than the MCG in the sort of the stadium is more of a straight up. It doesn't go as far back.
Okay.
So
it's an amazing stadium. It's really nice. I went there for the first AFL game that was played there, and it's a really, really good stadium.
Yeah,
good.
I just hope there isn't too many United twats there.
I was surprised at Townsville. No disrespect to Townsville. I was talking to Jared Lehman. He said, "Oh yeah, that's my local one. It's a 4-hour drive." I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't know what that stadium's like, but
it's not very nice. It's quite a small ground. That's the one game I'm not going to. I just stay away from that one, I think, and just go to the other ones. But
I'm really struggling as to why they didn't go to Melbourne for that one. Very, very unusual.
Yeah, that's all right. It is what it is. At least they're coming here. So,
do we get our money back if Leeds aren't a Premier League side? Because that's how it was marketed.
It depends, because the champion. This is what I heard. So the championship season starts on the 30th of July.
Right.
And so if they do go down, something I don't know what's going to happen, because they're going to be back in England. So they might.
They'll just ask to be put back. They'll just say, "Look, we didn't count on being a championship." So I think Burnley are still favourites to go down for me. I can't see where any of their points are coming from. They got Spurs and they got us.
Yeah, I think it will be Burnley too. But if it is Leeds that go down, I think they could Palace will be in the country.
Yeah, so
I think it'll probably end up playing Palace. Yeah, but speaking of Palace, we do have Palace on Sunday. At Villa Park. So let's do predictions. Tommy, how do you think we'll go against Palace?
I'll go again 3-1.
Oh,
Troy?
Yeah, I think we've got confidence. We weren't expected to beat Burnley, and I think there was a demolition there. Liverpool, I think we exceeded a lot of expectations, and I think we'll carry the momentum into Palace.
Yeah, I think Palace are a decent side. I think 1-0. I think we'll win 1-0. Yeah, and he won't start Buendia. I mean, every time the kid comes in, he lights the place up. He really does. He's just spectacular, but he keeps sticking him on the bench, and I don't understand it. But I'll still go with 1-0.
So, obviously, back on the podcast, got to have an Aston Villa stats. Why not bring it back? So,
Stat of the week, come on.
Stat of the week. Well, it's been a few months, it feels like, but the last 4 times we've played Palace, we've won 3, drawn 1. But the scores have been 0-0, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. So I'm going to go for a 4-0 Villa.
Thank you.
And I'm going to go for a Coutinho double and a Watkins double.
Danny Ings 2, Watkins 1. They're starting to gel now, irrespective of Coutinho or whoever's behind them. So I'm backing our offensive artillery.
Scotty,
yeah, I'm going to say 3-2 to Villa. I think it'll be an open game. Both teams don't really have a lot to play for, so I think both teams will go for it. And they've got some talented players, had a good season. So Yeah, I'll say 3-2, and I'll say Buendia, Ollie, and I don't know, someone left field, maybe like a Chukwuemeka off the bench or something. There we go. With the
I hope Chucky scores.
yeah, that'd be good.
So we all think we're going to win.
Yeah, so big L incoming. No, but
And like Burnley with 13 out of 15 points, Liverpool, everyone thought it'd be like 4-0 at halftime, and like I said, it could have gone either way.
now we've got a good opportunity to finish the season well. We've got Palace and Burnley. Then we finish with City on the last day. Maybe we could.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna really hurt because we all know what's gonna happen that day too. So
Yeah, our former captain will lift the Premier League trophy right in our face, and a few people are going to be angry about that. I can see, but it's either them. It's either them or the bin dippers. So who cares?
Let's just think if it does come down to the last game, look at the Liverpool connection we got.
I know.
I think it'll be fiery.
Coutinho 1-0. I'm calling it 93rd minute, and then just make it happen, please. It's in the script.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think it's a bit too much now. As Man City have to lose again.
They are. Man City are a class above. They are way too good.
They've got cheat codes, haven't they? It's ridiculous.
Like, look at. I'm not sure if you guys saw De Bruyne this morning, but he is by far the best player in the league. In my opinion, he
scored
outstanding. 4, yeah, and his third goal was
3 with his left.
Yeah, he's a star.
It's going to be scary with him behind Haaland now.
I know. It's scary. It's scary.
But
that's what we'll be up against.
Club just after Rayola's death, because I feel like Raiola was great at playing mind games and getting all this interest, and I know a lot of clubs pulled out last week. Haaland's injury scares, and also I think he's a bit of a party animal off the pitch.
Oh, Pep won't like that.
No, like that was one thing that Patrice Evra said. Pep doesn't like big characters. That's why he's never bought like a Mbappe or a Messi or a Ronaldo, because he likes players that he's the big character.
He didn't have to buy Messi though. He already had him.
He did.
I'm pretty sure Messi's a huge family guy. So
yeah, he is. Yeah, he is definitely.
He doesn't want to be overshadowed.
Nah, exactly.
But it'd be interesting because he did have Ibrahimovic for a while at Barca, and that didn't work out.
It didn't work out. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if Haaland fits the City system, but anyway, that'll be for another day. We'll wrap up there, but it's great to have everyone back.
Great to be back, I will say. It's been a while.
I know. It's just it's been so busy, and everything coming together towards the end of the season. But we will have another one next week, of course. We might be another double episode because Villa are playing Sunday and Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday
next week. So we might do a similar thing to this week and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. We've had quite a bit of interest over the last few videos. It's been great. And let us know if you're coming to Perth, if you're coming to Brisbane, Townsville for the games. And also, let us know what you think needs to happen at the end of the season and who you'd like to see come in, because we're going to be talking about transfers after the season wraps up. So let us know in the comments. And thanks again, lads, and looking forward to seeing you guys all in July up the Villa. And see you all later. Up the Villa.